Hi there, this is Robin Andrews from CompUcademy, where we teach you about programming and computer science in a fun and accessible way. So today I want to talk about GitHub. Now, some of you may be familiar with GitHub, which is great. Others of you may have come across it when you've been searching for a particular topic about programming and it's come up as one of your search results. And what GitHub is basically is a vast collection of computer code stored in what are called repositories. Now, a repository is just a collection of related code for a particular project. And there are so many of them. So you also have users on GitHub, and users have profiles where they put their repositories. Now, you can use GitHub for professional work, and you'll have private repositories, which won't be visible to the public. But a huge number of these repositories are completely public. So, for example, here's my profile page, Robin Andrews, and I've got just a few projects pinned here on my profile page. For example, let's look at the 15 puzzle, and I'll talk you through what a repository looks like. So you get a listing of the folders and files within your repository. This here is called a Readme. Okay, so Readme is a description of what the repository is about, what it's for, how to use it, what it contains, that kind of stuff. So information about the repository. So I've just put an image of what the program looks like when you're running it. So this is the 15 puzzle in Python using Turtle graphics. So this is a pretty small repository, really. It's just got a few files. It's got an image that's being used for the README. It's got the actual script, so let's go into that. Okay, so this is the actual program. It's just a one-file program. And going back, I've got a folder containing images. Okay, so we've got all of these images which are used in the puzzle. Okay, so they're little tiles with numbers on. So a very simple repository, but it gives you an idea of kind of how this works. Now, there are some really good repositories out there, particularly if you're learning Python or if you want to study a particular aspect of Python or whatever language you're studying, actually. So, for example, if you wanted to just search for Python, okay, you will find a vast number of repositories. At the minute, it's searching actually within my profile, my account. So if I make it all of GitHub, search for Python. So you see there's 1,399,539 repositories available. So take you a while to get through those. Obviously, the ones that are listed first are the ones which are most popular. So this one has 70.4 thousand stars on it. So that's listed high up. Now, there's a good one on this front page, actually. I don't know how you say his name. Joey James or something. He's got a YouTube channel. Some really good stuff about all sorts of different topics to do with Python programming. So he's got stuff on, what have I looked at recently? Matplotlib, I've made some use of. And actually, this is in the form of Jupyter notebooks, which is a slightly different version of Python, okay? It's a really good version of Python. You kind of have your code embedded with other like graphs and text and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into that now. I have got other videos about Jupyter notebooks. But this is a good place to look. He may have some stuff that isn't Jupyter notebooks. I can't actually remember. Let's have a look. Intro to data structures. Now this all looks like IPython. So maybe that wasn't a great example if you're looking for pure Python. So then let's go back. And I mean, this first one actually is pretty comprehensive. The algorithms. So lots and lots and lots of algorithms. So say you're interested in studying graph algorithms in Python. Then it's got all of these Dijkstra's. It's a classic algorithm for finding the shortest path. Okay. And there it is. So there's so much code available for you to study. Now, it's worth pointing out that a really good way to accelerate your learning of any programming language is to spend some time reading good quality code. Okay, so of course it's great to write code and to practice, but it's also good just to look at good examples, try and understand them, pick up some ideas, pick up some ways of doing things, make sure you can understand what all the different instructions are doing. And that's going to deepen your understanding of the language that you're studying. Okay, so it's a very good idea to spend time looking through code, and GitHub is the perfect place for that. So a couple more things I want to say about it. If we go back to my profile, coming back to this 15 puzzle. Now, you can get this code, okay? Now, there's different ways of doing it. If there's one particular file you're interested in, you can just click on the file, and then you can click on raw, and that will just be literally the code listing. And you can then save that by doing Control S, which is like saving from the browser. And then you can save that, yeah, wherever you want to save it. That's one way of getting some code. That's if you just want one particular file. But if you want the whole repository, you can basically just download. So here it says in the green button, clone or download. You can basically just download the whole repository as a zip file. Okay, and then of course you have to unzip it on your desktop or wherever you save it. And that's great, but there is a different way, which I'm not going to go into in this video. I'm just going to mention it, and then in a future video, we're going to look at how to use Git itself. So people get confused between Git and GitHub. Okay, so let's just clarify the difference. So Git is basically a version control system. Okay, so in the past, like before we had version control, you'd have like, you know, my project 1, my project 2, my project 3, and you'd have these kind of different versions of your project. And if something broke, you'd have to kind of find the last one where it was working, and then, you know, maybe adapt that, make that like the current one. And things got messy really quickly. So they invented version control, so you could have a very kind of systematic way of dealing with different versions of your code. Okay, so for now, don't worry too much about Git itself. Just be aware that it's different to GitHub. And GitHub is like a collection of repos which is managed using the Git version control system. And that's how it goes. Okay, so there's a great resource for you. Make use of it in your learning. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.